Fink, your champion-elect. Put your hands together for Luke Fink, ladies and gentlemen.
Australia versus New Zealand on a very wet and wild Anzac weekend.
It's obviously a challenge against each other, but we're battling the track. It's starting to grip up now in spots.
V8 versus RB, and sparks are flying already on the first outside zone.
And Luke Fink doing what he does best, putting the pressure on the young driver out front.
Conditions like this are the worst possible conditions you can have for drifting. The wheel speed, we've got everything else, and you're trying to judge where those tyres are going to go. 1 minute you have all the traction in the world, and next you have none.
Fink again, showing why he's at one of the best. Oh, Luke Fink takes his own front bumper off. Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, put your hands together.
The crowd wants a one more time.
Does the crowd want one more time?
Wow, they do want one more time.
Tapping, he is rubbing. Is he going to force Ethan Faithful off the track? And Luke Fink is getting some heat into those tyres, bagging up the tri-ace rears. The last one, does Fink do it again? Does Luke Fink come out and grab another 14 points towards his championship tally in the borrowed VIP car of Dan Caldwell? We know this is a 427 LSX. It's got plenty of power. It's got plenty of torque. It torches those rear tyres, Kenny. Let's just see what Luke does. I don't even think we'll call it. Let's just let it
When you think supercharged V8 S15 setup, that's pretty much as similar as you're going to get in the field at the moment to the car that he did start the season in. So this is going to be real interesting.
It's just, yeah, let's let us sing. Why not? It is a joy to watch a guy like Luke Fink actually doing what he does in a car like this with just that beautiful sound.
That was a solid lap. Luke Fink, P2, 97. So he's 0.7 shy of Adam Davies. Still got one run left to go.
Does he do what he did at the last round where he comes out and snatches number one? The last round he snatched it off Connor Halligan, I think. The last pass of the night. Here we go, Luke Fink. Let's just get it going again.
There was a massive transition. Massive transition there from Luke. Dancing to the outside zone.
He's up the track so much.
Oh, sparks are flying. Run in the VIP. S15.
All right.
Dan Caldwell.
Well, is that going to be number one, Kenny?
So Dan Caldwell will be watching that and going, man, that was good.
Plenty of action to happen in that top 32.
Yeah, no, that's what I thought was going to happen. He's actually set another 97, so I think he just used a little bit too much of that wall, and he got marked down for that. So Luke Fink backing it up, 2 97-point scores, and is currently P2, but it is Team DSR's Adam Davies taking pole position with a 97.7.
Oh, well, straight into battle. So this is Luke Fink and Jordan Joyce. Luke Fink, Jordan Joyce, Luke Fink driving the VIP Raymond Truss's LSX powered S15, and Jordan Joyce 2JZ 800 odd horse Stock Street Auto, and Jordan Joyce has trapped himself in a very awkward position there, Kenny. He went to transfer way too early, but then Luke Fink runs a wheel up wide. So a mistake there from Luke Fink in the lead. Now Luke Fink needs to try and stay in competition as he hunts for at least 4th place to try and grab a New Zealand Series record for most points. But now he's tagging the wall as Luke Fink in a borrowed car. Whoa, sparks for Luke Fink.
Running the wall all the way around, Jordan Joyce just following him in, and that was a spectacular run. Action straight off the line.
Right there.
Jordan right there on entry. What a chase run here from the NZKW S14. V8 out in front for the VIP machine. Luke Fink behind the wheel of the Team VIP frames and trusses. V8 powered Silvia. 2JZ S15 in behind. A little bit of a moment there for Jordan, as you said. Wheel off for the lead car as well. So we talk about the old school tipping scale that we used to use under the old scoring system. A bit of that just happening out there, but then Luke Fink really laying it down onto the wall there, upsetting the car in little places, but certainly putting on a show for everyone here at Mercury Bay Park. Luke Fink entering early. Joyce up on that high line. Luke Fink unafraid of getting on the door. He's been one of those chasing battlers, those animal drivers. We see it year on year from Luke Fink. Wants to get on the door, and he is pushing through the teardrop, hanging with that NZKW S14. Jordan Joyce leading out in the 2JZ. Is Luke Fink really going to continue this pressure all the way through the last outside zone? Jordan Joyce up on the wall, tries to return serve to Luke Fink, opens the door for Fink to get right up on the door. What a lead run, and what a chase. What a battle from the pair of them. Classic straight 6 turbo V8 battle. GT radio replay here. Jordan Joyce straight on the wall. He was a little bit later on entry, and Luke Fink sort of started off early off the line in terms of his entry. Just a super tight, close battle here from the pair of them. And I think, dancing with that outside zone was Jordan Joyce through outside zone 3 down at UDC at the end of the teardrop there. So that will be interesting to see how much of a markdown that might be with a wheel off potentially, or did he just run it over the line? And then was there a wheel off from Fink on his lead run? So those are some of the things the judges will be looking for, as well as any major line adjustments from Luke Fink being all the way around the wall on his lead lane.
Luke Fink gets the win.
Oh, it was fun because we were having a bit of banter in the pits there. I'm saying, you're never late in a V8, and he's got the JZ. We're having the rev ups before we go out and stuff, and it's good to get a win under my belt in this car. Can't thank obviously JDM, who I'm racing here for, but VIP for letting up their car. This thing's an absolute monster. Just allows me to get savage on these boys.
Yeah, it looks like you're enjoying it, mate. Well done.
So Luke Fink, our champion in waiting, champion elect, but man, I got to say, best battle of the night. You were so up for that.
Oh, I know he's in the world. Doesn't matter what anyone says. To be the best, you got to drive with him. I knew I had to stick it on him, but hey, we got what we got, and we're happy. We're happy for our sponsors. Thanks for NZKW, the team, everyone, D1NZ, to the roof, bro.
Sorry, my apologies. I'm just being told actually Dan Caldwell offered that car to Luke Fink, so there was no asking there. It was offered by Dan Caldwell on the VIP team. So thank you very much to those boys all the way up from the South Island, Dan and Sam. Great to see you here, along with Dylan Rastrick from the South Island. And here we go with Luke Fink leading away from Clayton Daly. Can Clayton Daly fly the New Zealand flag? Can he take out Luke Fink, something that no one else has really been able to do this season? Here comes young Clayton Daly, 22 years old, from Tauranga, battling the veteran drifter Luke Fink. He is an international champion. There was a little bit of a puff of dirt there, Kenny, but I think it's just stuff on the track. I don't think Luke Fink was anywhere offline there, and Luke Fink now has created distance over Clayton Daly, and you can see the sparks flying, and more importantly, Kenny, you can see the smoke coming off those tyres.
Really interesting example there of the line that Luke Fink is trying to hit, that the judges are looking for, but did he push too far?
I'll tell you what he's going to do. He's going to push young Clayton Daly around this track in the Team RHP, Team WFM machine, and Luke Fink doing what he does best, putting the pressure on the young driver out front. Luke Fink in the VIP Frame and Trust Dan Caldwell own machine, LSX underneath the bonnet, 427, 1200 odd horsepower at his disposal. The Tri-Ace tyres. Luke Fink, international champion in waiting of the D1NZ, and here he comes attacking young Clayton Daly, and he's put the pressure on him. And has he forced a mistake out of young Clayton Daly? Young Clayton Daly keeps his head there, gets up onto the wall, but here comes Luke Fink again, showing why is it one of the best. Oh, Luke Fink takes his own front bumper off. Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, put your hands together. Both of them stay in it. Get loud, Bay Park.
Exhaust dragging for most of that run there from Clayton Daly. in his brother's car. That's why I keep saying Aiden. Warren keeps doing it too. I do apologise. That is Aiden Daly's car, but Clayton, his brother, driving it up on the wall on entry. Boot lid flying up. Wipers on for Luke Fink. Sparks are flying aplenty here so far for the D1NZ Grand Final. Mercury Baypark.
Where are the
Luke
sparks
Fink
coming from?
applying so much pressure here in the chase. Look at the exhaust.
That's the exhaust hanging on the ground.
Just dragging on the ground for Clayton Daly in the RHP machine. And then look at this recovery. He almost blew it so wide off the track, and he managed to steer it back out of it. And what a recovery from Clayton Daly.
See how quickly Luke
Fink did not give up.
grabbed a gear and just rocketed it up onto the door and went, I'm here.
Plenty of sparks are flying.
Yeah, there was a bumper on that car before, Luke. I don't know where it's gone. It's somewhere on the track. Here we go.
Luke Fink.
Luke Fink.
Unanimous, locks it in and moves through to the next bracket.
Luke, you've got to be happy with that. I think both of you are pretty happy with that run, but how was it?
Mate, it's obviously a challenge against each other, but we're battling the track. It's starting to grip up now in spots. It's slippery. I can't even comprehend to you guys how friggin' hard it is to drive in conditions. You obviously know, but conditions like this are the worst possible conditions you can have for drifting. The wheel speed, we've got everything else, and you're trying to judge where those tyres are going to go. 1 minute you have all the traction in the world, and next you have none. So,
considering what you did was actually unreal, mate. Well done.
No, good. Thanks heaps to the VIP guys and JDM Racing, man. Couldn't do it without them.
Yep. See you at the next one.
Thank you.
Clayton, well played, mate. Coming up against someone like Luke Fink, who put all that pressure on you, particularly on that chase, and you didn't blink.
No, well, hey, I've battled with Luke before. We're good drivers, so you know you can trust him 110%, which is awesome. So, yeah, no, that's awesome, yeah.
For a young drifter to have someone with his experience, he's our champion-elect, all over you, but you go, no, I'm gonna hold here. How hard is that?
I just get in your zone, I'm in my own world and just away with the fairies, to be honest.
Yeah, look, it's okay to be away with fairies because you put on great entertainment, mate. Well done.
Thank you. Cheers, heaps,
Dave Steadman, last Kiwi remaining. Effectively, these are now 1 and 2 in the championship. So how does it play out, Kenny? Does the Kiwi boy get it done?
This is a repeat of the top 16 at Manfield, and that was an epic showdown. What have we got in store here at Mercury Baypark? Dave Steedman in the chase, Luke Fink leading out in the VIP entry, V8 versus RB, and sparks are flying already on the first outside zone.
Yeah, Dave Steadman settled into his work really nicely, but the reason he's able to do that is because Luke Fink is delivering a great lead run here. Luke Fink in the VIP frame and truss entry owned by Daniel Caldwell. Oh, and then there's a bit of a check-up there for Luke Fink. That has interrupted Dave Steadman's flow there. Dave Steadman has settled down to that inside. Oh, and then Dave Steadman, he's gone straight. Oh no, Steadman. Now, was that caused by the lead driver? Sparks are flying off Luke Fink's car. Was that the lead driver that did that, or was it Dave Steadman's mistake? That is entirely up to the wise men in the box.
What I was going to mention was that Luke was really trying to get that out of clip, which a lot of people have been missing in both classes this weekend.
But it scrubs so much speed.
Yeah, but he had that check-up coming into the teardrop. So we'll take a look at it here. Sparks are flying. Dave Steadman right there. Great start to that out. And then they fire in through.
Yeah, UDC
now,
teardrop.
Was
watch
there
this.
A touch
watch this.
there?
This is it here. And then Luke just checks up. And Dave's got really nowhere to go, right? So it starved Dave of all
Dave
his
was on the
momentum.
handbrake to keep the angle out. Using left foot here, flame spitting out. He had room to commit. I think he had room to commit. And so it's a little bit of a... There might be some leeway being in that chase pocket. But I'm actually interested to know if there was actually... It almost looked like Luke Fink's car had a tap as he was going in through the transition.
Let's switch over now. Here we go. It'll be Dave Steadman to lead them away. Luke Fink in the chase position. This battle could be the deciding factor here. Dave Steadman out to the wall. Nice and early. Luke Fink, though, settles into his work. He is right there on the lead wheel of Dave Steadman. He is putting the pressure on. You can hear that angry V8 barking away underneath the bonnet of the VIP frame and truss machine. Luke Fink making Dave Steadman work for it. That is where we saw the check-up earlier from Luke Fink, potentially. Luke Fink right into his work there. Stays with him. Stays. It's almost the same from from Dave Steadman as he came back through that section there, that transition. He's just, for some reason, the angle isn't carrying for Dave Steadman. Put your hands together, Baypark. Luke Fink Dave Steadman.
Trying to push him across the finish line. Luke Fink applying the pressure, returning the serve. Australia versus New Zealand on a very wet and wild Anzac weekend.
It was
Trans-Tasman battles galore this so far.
It was a real tit-for-tat battle. It was almost like Dave said, well, if you can do it, I'll do it too. But Luke didn't check up quite as badly. And if I'm looking at this objectively, the only thing I can see here is that Dave Steadman has almost had the same transition on both passes. It's just as he goes through here, UDC teardrop. And right here, you'll see Dave Steadman flattens right out, there.
It was handbrake and left foot, and then it was a little bit of a laboured transition to try and get that outer clip that Luke got. So
I don't think he's straight, but I don't think it's like it's like a lazy transition.
It'll be a penalty, It'll be a small deduction. I call them laboured transitions. It's where you start getting into that zone of, you're going to get marked down for a straight line, but you've got to get the car out. You've got to get the rear end flicked out,
Big word for late on a Saturday night, Kenny. Laboured transition. It's like we were talking about C33s being laconic before in the way that they behave.
I need more sound checks.
All right, here we go. Side-by-side comparison. You guys be the judges out there in live stream land. So certainly Luke Fink into his work earlier. Dave Steadman later on the proximity. Luke Fink into his work early. I think the real decision here for the judges comes down to almost the same spot on the track. You'll see both of them go around here this time, and effectively, now this will be really interesting.
When we see the side-by-sides like this,
side right there,
generally it's the review judge and the judges are taking a keen eye on it. And like I said with Dave's transition though, he did have room to get back on throttle. And it's just which way does compare the two in terms of where Luke was in his chase, but there was very subtle
decision
differences.
Decision is in, Kenny.
Yeah, those transitions, and Luke Fink goes through to the final.
Luke,
Dave Steadman battles for third and fourth.
Mate, you can't have a good chase without a great lead. Dave did a great lead. I knew he was going to do a great lead. He was up against Potros in his last battle. I was like, that lead, he's on it, you know what I mean? And which is great for me because it means I can do my job, do a great chase. That, to me, that was very similar to my run with European guy champion
Laurie.
That was like that. That was sick. And we both got a little bit caught in the slipperiness of the hairpin there, but other than that, it was awesome.
Yep. You had pops and bags in your face. Did you put your visor down?
Oh, my visor doesn't come down, but luckily I'm equipped with factory goggles. But yeah, his exhaust comes straight to your face, so it's I could feel that. That's why I gave him a little nudge across the line.
Exactly, mate. See you in the final.
Well done. Thank you.
It is all friendly, to say the least. Dave Steadman, well, last Kiwi standing, we still got to go for third and fourth, mate. That was, again, a wonderful battle made by two strong drivers.
Oh yeah, hard out, having so much fun. It's very similar battles, to be honest. I'm doing my best to put on a good lead run. I think we balked each other a little bit there around the teardrop, and I thought I was going to run away from him, but he ran away from me for sure. So I couldn't bully him like he bullied me, unfortunately.
Well, mate, you're in a good position to potentially have your best ever championship finish. That might be a nice little bonus, but you've still got a job to do.
Yeah, exactly. It's a shame we couldn't put this Aussie to bed, but hey, maybe next year.
All right, mate. Go get ready for third and fourth.
Will do. Thank you.
So that is third and fourth place locked in. So here is the final. Ethan Faithful for the very first time up against Luke Fink on the periphery of claiming the D1NZ National Drifting Championship the first time. Will it head overseas? And Luke Fink is getting some heat into those tyres, bagging up the Tri-Ace rears.
That's what we want to see.
And the Dan Caldwell owned LSX powered machine.
Just don't have smell-o-vision from where we are.
No. But it is drifting up.
Waiting for tyre smoke all day.
If you go into the judges' box, though, the judges have tyre smoke, they have clutch, they have all sorts of bits and pieces going on in there at the moment. Here we go. The John Atwood owned vehicle driven by Ethan Faithful up against the Dan Caldwell owned car driven by Luke Fink. One final time, ladies and gentlemen. Get up on your feet. Get your phones out. Get your cameras out. Is this the coronation of Luke Fink as our champion, as our number 2 qualifier? He will lead away, but Ethan Faithful not going to make this easy for him. And here they go into the Mimico Repco wall ride for the very final time, potentially. Fink leads out, but Ethan Faithful right there with him, making it work for it. The tyre smoke starting to come off the rear there. Ethan Faithful transitions nicely in behind him. Nice tidy run coming here from both drivers. Here is Luke Fink opening up the door, making it possible for Ethan Faithful to get right up there into the chase pocket. Ethan Faithful about a metre off him, transitions nicely underneath the Mimico sign. Was that a straight line there, Kenny? It might have just been the camera angle that tricked us. Sparks coming off the wall, ladies and gentlemen. Get on your feet, get your cameras out. Start a snap in Luke Fink as he coronating himself as our champion in waiting.
What a wild run there from the pair of them. We'll unpack it a little bit here in the GT Radio replay. Both of them straight on it on the entry, up onto the line. Ethan Faithful getting up onto the rear quarter, and Luke Fink just sending it out on that line. Drops in, gets out to that line that the judge was asking for that layup. But did he actually get that clip as he laid up into the outside zone? And just here, we saw this transition. Was it a laboured transition, or was he straight wheels? Ooh, gee. That'll be a tight one. The front wheel, you always look at the front wheels and just how long was that car straight for through that transition there, and how much leeway do they give for him being in the pocket for that long as well? Luke Fink, Ethan Faithful.
Alrighty, Ethan Faithful, what can he do? Can he return serve to Luke Fink? Luke Fink will put the pressure on. We've seen Luke Fink do this all season. He is in another final. It is 5 from 5 for Luke Fink. Oh, now Luke Fink hasn't initiated. It's shut out. It is shut down, and Luke Fink very late there. Is Ethan Faithful going to win on debut here? All he has to do now potentially is complete the run and allow the judges to make the decision. Here comes Luke Fink back at him now. He's going to attack. Luke Fink needs to not be stupid here and force him off the track, but here comes Luke Fink. He is tapping, he is rubbing. Is he going to force Ethan Faithful off the track? He's given Ethan Faithful no room in order to transition there. Here comes the VIP machine. The bumper is off the front of it, up along the wall for one final time, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together. Ethan Faithful and Luke Fink, the final of D1NZ, round number 5. It is done, it is run.
What a run. What a run. Drama off the entry for Luke Fink. Let's unpack it in the GT Radio replay. He went to enter, it stalled, it balked up on him, straightened, left foot, and then entered again. What happened for Luke Fink in the VIP entry? Ethan Faithful out in front, up on that line, switching on through in that Ford Barra, that Barra-powered C33 Laurel. The VIP entry of Luke Fink just trying to get up on the door. It's almost like he just had the bit between the teeth. He's like, nah, I've got to try and get on the door and leave a mark now.
That was what it felt like, wasn't it? But then I think Luke Fink got to a point where he's like, hey, I've got a title in the bag. I'm not going to bin someone else's car. Those are both borrowed rides. It was sort of like, respect, I'm here. I'm in another final. I think we're going to lock in for a result, and then we're going to go down to most likely Keisuke Nakashima and Stephen McIver. Looks like the boys are they're pretty resigned to what's gone on there.
Does it come down to the entry? I'd love to see the entry again.
Well, it was really late, right? So if you don't enter...
I think something's happened on entry there.
Hang on. Let's just create some suspense here, because we have the judges out at the DSO table. So I can tell you that all the judges have come out to the review table. They are all now gathered around the screen. They are reviewing the final in full. So
we got some chants going.
We've got the chant going.
The crowd's chanting. The chat box is chanting. Oh, a bit of fun here tonight. Well, what did you guys think down there? Keisuke Nakashima and Stephen McIver.
Well, don't ask me. We'll ask Keisuke. He was the 2024 Pro Sport Championship. What did you make of the final run?
Oh, I think it doesn't really matter what I think. I reckon the crowd wants it one more time.
Does the crowd want one more time? Wow, they do want one more time. I wonder how malleable the judges are. What it is. Luke, come. While you're here, come and join the lads. I feel sorry because I know Ethan's out of the car. We haven't still got a decision, but can I ask you what happened on the run?
It wouldn't go into gear, and I don't know why. We did. The boys, when Dan drove the car earlier, he lost all the gears, and there was a linkage there. Was a bit how you're going, so it could be something to do with that, or it could have just been bad operator. I don't know.
You know, when you take a look at seasons, I feel like I'm doing the interview I should be doing a little bit later on, but you haven't been off the podium all season. I mean, that by anyone's estimation is an enormous... I'm going to stop. Get back in the car. You're going again.
Let's go. One more time.
They're going again, Baypark. Let's do this.
Warren Sear, we are back. Did they change tyres, or are they going to send it as it is?
No, I think it's a change of tyres there. Looks like there's plenty of tread there for Luke Fink. Fun fact about Joel Counter, actually holds the record for the worst qualifying result into the highest finish in Pro. Yeah, yep. So went 26-3, and interestingly enough, Isaac Aldridge actually bettered that tonight in Pro Sport. Here we go, Luke Fink in the VIP frame and truss. S15, the 427 is singing out the front there. Tags the wall, the sparks go flying. Luke Fink, he is not going to leave anything to chance. This is a one and done, ladies and gentlemen. We must have a result off this. It is a one more time. It is sudden death. It is Ethan Faithful. It is Luke Fink, both in borrowed cars, and they tag. The front wheel's just about to lock. Ethan Faithful, did he give Luke Fink enough room there to transition? Ethan Faithful has fallen back there, and Luke Fink stays in the gas there. And big distance created there, Kenny. Did Faithful find himself in the wrong spot there, or dare I suggest, because I can, was that a game being played there?
Well, Ethan Faithful did a good job after the contact to actually just fall back on that required line, despite the car lengths in terms of proximity. So see here in the GT radio replay, sparks are flying up on the wall. Ethan Faithful taking a very different approach through the transition, cutting his line a little bit to get that proximity and dive up onto the door. Now, just how will the judges reward for that off the transition, because he had to cut his line ever so slightly to get there. Then you see a touch through the transition. Did he leave enough room for the lead car? Did Ethan Faithful put a wheel off outside clip, heading up towards the final wall ride? And that's what they'll be currently studying right now.
Yeah, I am a huge fan, Kenny. Oh, that wheel's buckled. Is it going to come off? Is it going to debead? That front is off for Ethan Faithful. The front wheel has gone flat for Ethan Faithful. They're going to have to go and change that. And that is that contact with Luke Fink. Yeah. So that is another story here.
So Luke Fink will just be circulating to get some air in the car. Ethan Faithful would have pulled back to the chute. They'll be back to the pits and calling their mechanical 5 minutes to do a tyre change.
All right, here we go. Final pass. This is sudden death. It is Ethan Faithful leading away from the Dan Caldwell-owned VIP entry being driven by Luke Fink. One final time. We have to have a result after this, ladies and gentlemen. Who goes home with the silverware? Is it Luke Fink? Is it Ethan Faithful? Ethan Faithful on the gas. Up and into the wall. Here comes Luke Fink into the pocket. Both drivers transition nicely into the UDC teardrop for the one final time. Can they get through here smoothly? Ethan Faithful flats with the outside. Drops a tyre. Does he drop a tyre? Was it right off there, Kenny? That'll be up to the judges to decide that. Here comes Luke Fink putting the pressure on. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together one final time as they come back around the Repco Mimico wall ride, and Ethan Faithful whacks the wall, and here they come, your finalists. Salute them. Two champion drivers, Ethan Faithful and Luke Fink, and Fink 360's it. It went 360 and Luke Fink, your champion elect. Put your hands together for Luke Fink, ladies and gentlemen. He is a happy boy. Are you allowed to blow the guards off someone else's car? I don't know.
I'd say Dan Caldwell might let him do it.
Knowing Dan,
that's the grand final.
I feel like Dan will probably just go, yeah, as long as I'm in the passenger seat, just blow him off. Blow him off, boys.
Awesome job from our drivers tonight. Great stuff in the final. Trans-Tasman final. Ethan Faithful up against Luke Fink. You got a Ford Barra-powered C33 L-Dog. When was the last time you saw a four-door C33 on the podium in D1NZ Pro? Up against Luke Fink. Sparks are flying up on the bank. There was that correction there for the lead car, and Luke Fink certainly right there in the pocket, in the chase. Loops it out at the end, and
your champion-elect salutes the crowd.
Skid in front of the diehard fans that have been sticking around all day in the rain right there, watching on the wall, soaking in the action.
So Kenny, I'll drop a couple of little teasers. Luke Viersma, Western Australian World Time Attack podium finisher. He's keen to come across. Saxon Moyes keen to come across. So a few more Aussies looking to come across. Maybe we're looking at that the 3 rounds here, 3 rounds in Aussie type scenario. Trans-Tasman kind of thing. There is Luke Fink, your champion in waiting. What a season it has been, ladies and gentlemen, for the great Aussie lad, Luke Fink, Fink & Co. And there is Tiana, his wife. Stephen and Keske will no doubt be down there in the thick of everything, and he looks like he's absolutely pumped. Been an absolute pleasure to call the season for you. My name is Warren Seck. With me is Kenny Ruddle. We've been your commentary team for the season as we wind our way towards prize giving. Stephen and Keske will take over the formalities and they will bring us home. But what a season it has been. Kenny Ruddle, we had Brady Maher win round 1. We had Adam Davies win round number 2. We had Luke Fink win round number 3. We had Connor Halligan win round number 4. We're about to find out who won round number 5, but there has been one constant across the entire season. It has been that man, Luke Fink, on the podium. 5 out of 5 rounds, and what a phenomenal effort. You can think whatever you like about the man, but the man could drive that toolbox around Bay Park and he would still get it sideways and put in an absolutely solid effort. So what an effort here at Bay Park for Fink & Co, for the JDM Motorsport team, for all of our D1NZ drivers. And there is the silverware. Let's go down to Stephen McIver and Keske Nagashima.
So here we are, we come to the end of the 2024-2025 D1NZ Championship. And your round winner has not been off the podium in all 5 rounds. Give it up for Luke Fink. And that's your official round podium for the final round of the D1NZ season. Gentlemen, feel free to spray some champagne, and then we'll get on with the championship trophies. And for the first time in D1NZ history, your championship Drift King will get off these shores. But boy, has he put on a show this season. He is everybody what it's like to produce consistency, speed, and most of all, what D1NZ is all about, entertainment. Your 2024-2025 Drift King in D1NZ, give it up for Luke Fink! And of course, what goes with that is the Drift Japan ticket to go to the western parts of Japan, hang out on some cool tracks and do your thing. And a thanks to Ben Hodges. Gentlemen, hold those trophies high, you deserve it. What a season it has been. All right, let's get a word from our Drift King. Luke, come on over here, mate. Mate, I'll get back to the original question I had before we had to go one more time. Congratulations. Consistency breeds success, and success has been yours. What a near-perfect season.
It hasn't been bad. The only thing that sort of let us down a few times is a few car issues. But other than that, man, the JDM Racing team, I love them so much. You don't understand is we do have car issues and this and that, but we have the best time. You know what I mean? Even the boys tonight, you know, I can't thank the VIP guys enough. But then when my crew came down as well, it's just such a good time to have the boys around, and we have such a ball. And I can't thank James and the JDM Racing team enough. And obviously VIP tonight. What freaking legends.
Okay, well, just quickly, we're running light on time. What does it mean to win? Drift King, taking it back to Australia for the first time. First non-Kiwi to do it.
No, it's pretty cool. Obviously, Kiwis are some killer drivers over here, and you know, it wasn't easy. Obviously, you know, I want to say I'd love to take it back to 80, but a lot of times you have to push it back up to 90, 100, and start putting it on the edge. And it's just been a great year. Everyone was pushing really hard. I think this tyre rule now in D1NZ's got everyone really close on grip. It's a bloody good time.
Get back up on that podium, spray some champagne. Congratulations, your Drift King in 24-25, and that is Luke Fink.